can't sit down and have a conversation about Allah. If you go to the mechanic and you ask him some questions about his mechanic shop, he can talk to you all day. Hey, man, I do this, and I'm planning on doing this later. You go to a teacher, and her job or her profession, his profession is teaching, they'll tell you their plan, and they'll talk forever about it. You go to a salesman, he's gonna talk to you about sales. You go to a musician, he's gonna talk to you about music. You say, okay, stop, talk to me, tell me about Allah. What, you get 1, 2 minutes? You feel ashamed to talk about Allah. When the reality is, us Muslims, we are the Rasul of the Rasulullah. We are the messengers of the messenger of Allah. This is the only time when there's not going to be another prophet. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was Khatamun Nabiyyin. There's not going to be anyone else to come and do the message. It's our job to do this message. And what does Rasulullah's message entail? إِنَّكَ أَرْسَلْنَاكَ شَاهِدًا وَمُبَشِّرًا وَنَذِيرًا وَدَاعِيًا إِلَى اللَّهِ بِإِذْنِهِ وَسِرَاجًا مُنِيرًا. A witness. A witness to what? To what is truthful. That is our job. A conveyor of glad tidings. What? Jannah. Not here. Here isn't the glad tidings. Oh, we got this. No. Our glad tidings is after we die. That's our job. A warner. A warner of what? A warner of Jahannam. This isn't a joke. Allah really sent us here to realign our lives, to break this programming that we already have, and sign up for the program of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because the reality is, Islam, real practice of Islam breaks any of these programs. The real reality of what we need to do, going to the masjid the way the Prophet Muhammad wants us to go to the masjid, it breaks the program. Some people, their wife will say, oh, I'm going out to the market, I'm going out to the studio. And she asks, when's your husband going to be home? I don't know. He goes to the market, he goes to the studio, he goes with his friends, I don't know when he's going to be back. Entertainment, ghayrullah. Reality is, the Sahabi, if you ask your wife, where's your husband? Same thing. Oh, he's going to the masjid. When's he going to be back? Same answer. I don't know. It may be some concern that Allah needs to be taken care of. The Muslims may need something, and he's going to stay there and make sure that it's taken care of. And even the concern of the people, when you go and you attend the masjid, and when you pray in congregation, then when you go out to the business, how's your attitude? I just left the house of Allah. It's going to be different from if you never went to the house of Allah and you went straight. And then when you leave the marketplace and you come back to the masjid, before you go back to the house, how's your condition going to be when you go back to your wife? If you just left Allah's house, it's going to be better than your condition just going right from the marketplace to your wife. This is a program that the Prophet Muhammad put us on. Making food, making salat 5 times a day, making this dhikr, fasting in the month of Ramadan. If we allow ourselves to be programmed with the sunnah of Rasulullah, that will take out automatically this ghayrullah from our heart. But if we can't allow ourselves to, it's hard for me to make the salat. It's hard for me to fast. It's hard for me to want to do good things. We have to think, what is in our heart that we really want to appease? What is this ghayrullah, particularly for us, that we are really trying to take care of and nourish? Because that's what it is. If we really wanted to please Allah, if we really loved Allah, fattabi'uni, we would follow the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad like the Quran says. And we would love the Prophet Muhammad like the companions loved the Prophet Muhammad. They loved him. He came telling them, rearrange your heart. Take out this, put this in. Love Allah. Pray like me, and you'll be in Jannah with me. This was his teaching. It was the Battle of Uhud. The companions love Rasulullah so much. So I'll give this story real quick and we'll close out. The companions loved him so much. Hamza was killed. Rasulullah was looking for his uncle. Where's Hamza? Where's Hamza? No, none of the companions wanted to tell him what happened to him. Gotta find him, you know? We're not going to tell him what happened to his uncle. They said when the Prophet Muhammad seen Hamza, they said they never heard the Prophet Muhammad cry out loud. They said this cry out loud that he made. They felt that. Prophet Muhammad, they say he cried out loud. He was so sad that his uncle died. As Muslims, we should feel this too. Even though it's 1,400 years later, if we really love Rasulullah, we would feel this connection that he had. Who was Hamza? Hamza, of course, was the uncle of the Prophet Muhammad, but Abdul Muttalib, the Prophet Muhammad's grandfather, and the Prophet Muhammad's father, married two sisters on the same day. Prophet Muhammad was born from one of those weddings, and Hamza was born from, so they were both the same age. They were two sisters, so the Prophet Muhammad not only was his uncle, they were also cousins. Since they were both born and they were both in the house of Abdul Muttalib, they both breastfed from the same woman until the Prophet Muhammad went off to breastfeed in the desert. So then they became brothers. So there's 3 levels of relationship. Hamza radiallahu anhu, he's the Prophet Muhammad's uncle because he's his grandfather's son. He's the Prophet Muhammad's cousin because both of their mothers were sisters, and they both suckled from the same woman. So that makes them in Islam brothers. Hamza radiallahu anhu died. Prophet Muhammad came across him, seen his nose cut off, ears cut off, stomach ripped open, fished around him. But what was the Prophet Muhammad's job? His job wasn't to sit and cry over Hamza, but it was a sad moment. After a while, everyone started becoming Muslim. Even they had the person who killed him, they had him on a hit list. Waqshi, African, basically a sniper with a spear. He knew he was on this hit list. Islam is taking over. I want to become Muslim. He came to Medina, covered up, cloak on, all the way till he got right into front of the Prophet Muhammad and he took his hood off and he said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu annaka rasulullah. The Sahabas got up, by Waqshi, Ya Rasulullah, Waqshi. This is Waqshi. This is the person who killed your uncle. Remember you crying? This is him. Let's do him. I said, no. He's Muslim now. He came and he took his shahada in front of him. The Prophet said, come now, sit down. Tell me how you killed my uncle. So he said, okay, I'm a Muslim. He said, I have to accept your shahada. The Prophet said, I just want to know. I want to hear your story. How you killed my uncle. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I didn't come down for your uncle. They gave me 3 people. They said, either you get Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you get Ali, or you get Hamza. From the people that you all killed in the war previous in Badr, they wanted revenge. So they said, you kill one of these 3 people, you're going to be free. So he said, I was only out there for my freedom. He said he was a black slave. He had a spear, and he had real good aim. So he said, at first, he said, I know I can't get to the Prophet Muhammad because he had so many people around him guarding him. So he was like, I don't want to go to Hamza because he's a fierce, fighter. Let me get Ali. So he said, at first I wanted to get Ali. But he said, I seen the way Ali was fighting, he kept looking around. He said, because he kept looking his eyes around, there's no way I'm going to be able to get Ali. So then he seen Hamza fight. And when he seen Hamza fighting ferociously, he said, Hamza isn't looking around as much as Ali was looking around. So he said, I might be able to get him. So he said, it was a call that was called out. They said, Rasulullah is dead. We all know this call. They made it out. It was a false call. But in this confusion, Waqshi was able to come up from behind this rock he was hiding. And he said he threw the spear directly into Hamza and it came out the other side was protruding. And he was talking to Rasulullah. He said, when I threw it in him, I felt happy. But then he turned around and he started charging towards me. So I ran. The Prophet was crying. He said, his beard was completely wet. He said, tell me, keep telling me the story. He said, I ran. He said, I did not